Ball? Do you want to do ball by ball or analysis? There's actually a question. You know what I mean? There's a chance to learn too. That's just like it. Big 10?
Pleasant good afternoon and welcome to live coverage on the Trident 10 television network of the Barbados Football Secondary Schools League. This is under 16 action. We're at the semi-final stage where Christchurch Foundation boys will take on St. Leonard's boys Foundation, playing in the Dartmouth kit, the yellow and black shirts, and the black shorts with yellow socks, and St. Leonard's boys in the all-red splendid kit. 35 minutes a half. We await the start to this game as the referee checks his time. 2:24 kickoff. St. Leonard's boys kicking from right to left. Ball floated over the top from the number 11, looking for his teammate on the right-hand side, the number 6. Ball hit forward, hit back forward again by the number 3. Settles for the number 10 to play for the right back, which is number 5. I'm joined by Mr. Nikhil Uttam Chandani. His name is long, but I can assure you he's ready to take his seat and begin describing his game. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, so good afternoon, Kwame. Great to be here. You know, another year of course, Barbados Secondary Schools Football League, the under 16. And, I mean, got some big games here today, you know, starting with this one, Foundation, and, of course, St. Leonard's Boys School. Always two schools, highly competitive, and looking forward to see what they can give to each other today.
So the ball falls kindly to the goalkeeper of St. Leonard's with the left-footed take up the field, headed back by the number 12 of Christchurch Foundation boys. Ball played in the middle. Ball played through the channel for the number 6, but the opposition keeper of Christchurch Foundation gets there first. So I do apologize for a lack of team information at the moment. Whenever possible, I will call the names of the players. Number 10, Christchurch Foundation. Ball played just behind the number 8. Too compact. St. Leonard's boys not playing with any width in that scenario, and the pass forward is blocked and they have a throwing. So what are you looking for in particular in this game, Nikhil?
Well, I think Kwame is going to be, really who can start better of the two teams. I think I heard the coach downstairs telling his boys, of St. Leonard's, push at them hard to start with. You want to bring that intensity because, to start the game, teams usually start pretty slow. So if they can, either school can get a good start here, really, they can, and score a quick goal, they can put the other school on the back foot.
Just about 3 minutes gone. Slip there from the number 11. And he has handled the ball. So it's a free kick to Christchurch Foundation boys. Under 16 action. Ball hit into the middle. Attempted flick on. More style than substance there. Ball floated over the top by the left back. But no focal point. And the ball hit too long for the left midfield player, wearing number 13, so that's a goal kick to Foundation School. Pretty heated conditions here, though we are in the shade, and it's pretty windy as well. It's going to be interesting to see how either goalkeeper deals with the windy conditions. Ball played back to number 12. And nice passing football from St. Leonard's here, trying to build on the left-hand side. And as soon as I say so, the popular commentators curse. Beautiful reverse ball, heavy touch. Chance here, though, for St. Leonard's, but the goalkeeper does well to avert the danger. But the best chance of the game so far for St. Leonard's boys, Nikhil.
Yeah, great chance. As you can see, I'm pretty surprised actually, Kwame, because Foundation definitely the more prepared of the two. Here bright and early warming up, but really St. Leonard's only got out about 10 minutes before kickoff. So to me, though, St. Leonard's have started, they seem to start a better team. You can see with that chance right there. So all in all, pretty decent start from both sides.
Well, we know about jet lag and never heard anyone mention bus lag. Ball controlled expertly by the number 9. Trying to get past 2 defenders, brought down, but no foul in doing so. Chance to break here for Christchurch Foundation. Strong challenge there coming in from the number 8. Here comes Foundation trying to build with the ball floated over the top for the number 11. It's 1v1 in the corner. Will he get the cross in? Seemingly not favoring his left foot. Plays it back to a teammate who's accompanying him. Looking for the player at the top of the box. Player breaks down. At the moment, it's just about to say most of the players, or every player from Foundation in the half of St. Leonard's boys, but the player broke down. There was a potential counter attack. And that too broke down. I know a free kick to St. Leonard's, so the game flowing pretty evenly. Nikhil, no team necessarily having absolute control at the moment.
Yes, I think what's interesting, Kwame, you can see the amount of bodies that Foundation are committing to the defense. I found when they were breaking forward, and they really has a piece of brilliance by Ken Ryan Harris for Foundation, wearing the number 11. As you can see, that shot into the box taken easily by the keeper. But I was saying, Kwame, that I think they maybe might have too much bodies in defense, too many bodies in defense. You can see no one really over the halfway line. Now when they break, there's not enough really to pass to. But you can see another play developing here.
Do you think that's a strategy to keep himself in the game early, given the reputation of St. Leonard's boys over the years in at this level of competition?
Well, that was a great move there by Jalen Johnson, the small winger. But yes, I think it could be a ploy of strategy from the Foundation coach. But really what I would be doing if I were the coach, Kwame, is running at this St. Leonard's side and really tearing them out, because as you can see, there's not a single substitute on the bench. When you look at Foundation, they have several. So I think really if they were to go out hard at the St. Leonard's school, really, and wear down those legs in the second half, it could be a pretty easy game.
Ball eventually cleared but sliced. In doing so, it may fall more kindly for Christchurch Foundation. chance here, and a smart foul, in my opinion, committed by the number 11 to allow players to get back and reshape. But in also doing so, I must admit that surprisingly, Foundation School are very slow in taking this free kick. Just about 8 minutes completed in this first half. Cries from beyond from the coaching staff to make sure the goalkeeper can see the ball. Jalen Johnson, the number 10, floated and strong right hand to push the ball over the crossbar. Good save.
Yes, excellent take there from Johnson. You know, you can see the maturity. He stood by that ball, took a few strides in and hit it, placed it right where we'd have wanted. You couldn't ask for a better free kick, but excellent keeping from the keeper. That's Raheem Pierre wearing the number 1. Great stop, excellent save, and from such a short man, you wouldn't be expecting that tall right-handed save.
Maybe he's a high jumper as well. Ball floated low to the near post. Chance here. He shielded it, but wasn't able to get the shot in. Screens of a handball. Comes Sana's boys on the counter. Heavy touch there. Still manages to keep possession. The Foundation manages to get players back very speedily. He opted for the dummy instead of the control. And that's the second time to my recollection that he's opted for style rather than substance. Jalen Johnson finds a teammate who seems to be the tallest player on the field, at least from my vantage point. Ball given away in the middle of the midfield. Headed away, not too far. So a scramble and a free kick won by Foundation boys.
Yes, it looks like Shomari Clark wearing the number 13. Joshua Clark as well will be taking the attack for the St. Leonard's squad. I don't know, would you like me to give the squads, Kwame? We have Raheem Pierre for St. Leonard's, wearing 1. Arego Jordan wearing 11. Rashad Paris wearing 12. Joshua Clark 9. Shoniko Hill 5. Shomario Holder 6. Nakai Armstrong 3. Christian St. Hill wearing the number 10. Shomari Clark wearing 13, Jacoby Paris 19, and Kamal Bryan number 8. Really pretty open game. We're gonna get the Foundation names now. I have the full list coming, but we have to narrow it down to that 11 names. So working on that one for you. But really decent start by the St. Leonard's School. You know, breaking forward when really they have committed a lot of bodies to defense, and that's what you want to see. You know, they started well, but it's just if they can last the full 90, because of course not playing with any substitutes. So it's going to be a throw-in for the St. Leonard's boys, and of course you can see in that attack you have Joshua Clark and of course Shomari Clark. So the Clarks patrolling the attack, but here comes Foundation again on the break. Now with number 12, that is a Kobe Nurse, but loses possession and he's fighting, but here comes Clark down the field. But again, this it seems to be a trend here, Kwame. No team really able to hold the ball for quite a while. The possession stats should be pretty even.
You spoke about lack of experience in some instances. Player there put on the ground, but he's skillful. Number 9 of St. Leonard's, as Keith Griffith would say, he left this man for dead. Attempted turn there, but gives the ball away. The number 6, and then a bit of a holding exercise, gives away a free kick.
Yeah, so pretty balanced here to start. And I'm just wondering, you know, very interesting to note, Kwame, that Queen's College have come pretty early. They'll be playing next against the St. Francis Secondary School, but they're here pretty early. And I asked some of the players, you know, how come you all left school so early? And they said they wanted to come and assess the competition for the final, because they're backing themselves to come out victorious. As we see, Pierre picks up this one. Very open game to start here. And you can see a terrible throw there. But and actually the player from St. Leonard's, that's Arego Jordan. I'm very shocked that he gave up on that one. I thought he could have got it. But Kwame, really open game. You can see a lot of spaces in the midfield, and now Jordan already taking out his frustration on the Foundation player, and they try to take it quickly. in the form of a Kobe Nurse, but the ball is moving there. And really, Foundation have to do a bit better in midfield. They seem to lose the possession a bit too easily. And, of course, Foundation, you know, they will want to get that first goal.
First goal is really going to count here, given the dynamics as well. Christchurch Foundation will be hoping to get on the score sheet first. Ball floated low, half clearance. Then the number 9 for St. Leonard's boys is Joshua Clark with the clearance. Ball played forward looking for Joshua Johnson. Jalen Johnson. Sorry. It's too long. They're throwing to St. Leonard's boys. So Troy taken straight to Jalen Johnson. And number 13 finds the number 8 in space. Ball comes in, half cleared. Strong challenge on Brand. Nice one-touch football. Good defending. Good defending. Here's the number 12. Finds the player in space. Chance for Foundation. And that's the opening goal. There's a little shimmy, allowing the ball to run to his left side. And the shot coming in from the number 11, Harris. It's a beautiful take. Nikhil Chandani, I'll let you describe that piece of action that you just saw.
Yes, well, great goal from Harris. You know, it shows some great maturity, responsibility there, taking it. He placed it in to the bottom left corner very beautifully past Pierre. He had no chance, but I must talk about that ball coming from, I believe it was the number 8 in Jelani Joseph. Played it through 2 defenders, and really Harris slotted it in. He had so much space, loads of time, and he picked his spot well. And really Foundation now, as you can see, the momentum has shifted, and really St. Leonard's, who are playing with only 11, well obviously 11, but none on the bench. They look pretty depleted. As you can see, Foundation coming forward with Johnson again, and a space for him. I think it might be offside, and he doesn't get to that one, but definitely, Kwame, Foundation looked the better side to start.
They've definitely composed themselves within the last 5 minutes of action. In number 13, Jalen Phillips. Just too heavy on the touch. Looking for the number 10, Jalen Johnson. So the goal scored in the 14th minute. Poor goal kick from Pierre. Nonchalance in the back from Arrigo Jordan in number 11. Ball hit over one time for the number 9, Joshua Clark. Clark has been penalized for what I believe may be a handball. But as you said, with no subs on the bench, it will come down to fitness. And how long can they keep themselves in the game as well after going behind early in this first half? Semifinals of the under 16 competition, the Barbados Secondary Schools Football League, throwing taken by the number 3 and strong right-footed clearance. Bit of compactness. Ball over the top from Brand. Trying to find Joshua Clark. And the flag is up early from the referee, which saves the image of the goalkeeper in goal for Christchurch Foundation boys, who really got his feet in the tangle and was unable to save what was a pretty tame shot from the number 9 of St. Leonard's boys, Joshua Clark. And though the ball eluded the keeper and went into the back of the nets, the score remains at 1-0 in favor of Christchurch Foundation boys. From my clock, it's about 17 minutes of action completed. Strong shielding there from Phillips. Ball is taken away. Brian trying to find Joshua Clark again. This time he's onside. Chance there for Joshua Clark for the equalizer, and strong recovery there from the defender at the last minute, robbing Joshua Clark of a chance at the equalizer.
Yes, well, really great piece of work there by the St. Leonard's forward, but really saved the Foundation School by that centre back's defense, you know, getting that deflection. But Kwame have got the Foundation, sorry, St. Leonard's boys. Well, yes, the Foundation team sheet. We have number 14, Nathan Archer, Raquan Clark of number 15, Tristan Clark, 16. Number 11, Ken Ryan Harris, the goal scorer. Of course, one love to the Foundation School. We have Jalen Johnson wearing the number 10 today. Jelani Joseph, number 8. In bars is Key Neblet. We see him making a couple of good saves. Kobe Nurse at number 12. Jalen Phillips, number 13. Dimitri Pula wearing number 7. And then finally, Daniel Thomas. So we've got both teams, and it should be a great game. As you can see, a player down, getting some treatment. But just getting back to that last break, you know, Kwame, he had a really good chance there, the striker Joshua Clark for St. Leonard. The coach would be really upset that he wasn't able to put that one home, but great piece of defending by the Foundation as we have a corner now put into the box, squared in, aerial, and it nearly sneaks through, but clearance from Foundation. That one was a close one.
Very close indeed. Free kick goes against Foundation, so pressure being applied here by St. Leonard's boys in search of an equalizer. Key Neblet in goal for Foundation. He's going to be the key as well. First time I've ever seen that name, KHII. Ball floated to the near post, punched away. Two strong hands from Neblet. And I think he took the wiser option in punching it away as opposed to trying to catch, as the conditions are pretty windy and the ball was curving. So a corner to be taken by the number 11 of St. Leonard's boys. Ball into the near post, headed away strongly, still danger present. Ball cleared. And number 12. Ball floated with the outside of the right boot from the number 3. St. Leonard's have numbers forward, but they aren't using possession, and should a counter-attack start, they could find themselves in trouble as many of their players are out of position. They opt to play all the way back to the goalkeeper. Ball given away. Chance here for Foundation to make it 2, and offside call pretty early. So St. Leonard's boys let off the hook.
I like the look of this number 10 for Foundation. Young Jalen Johnson. He's one of the smallest players on the field, but you can see he's moving really well from this right. He seems to be taking up that right midfield position because he is playing pretty centrally at times. As we see a break now from Shomari Clark of St. Leonard's, as tries to get in the box. He gets it back, fortunately puts it in, but no one there in the middle to gain his cross. Unfortunately, Kwame, both defenders, centre-backs wearing number 1, so I don't see any number 1 on that team sheet, so it's going to be pretty hard to find those centre-backs. So I'll find out for you at half-time as we see Foundation again. You mentioned this, you know, on the break, Foundation look very dangerous. It's how they scored their first goal, and now they seem to be doing much of the same. That may be a strategy for, and remember we were talking about it earlier, committing bodies back and then breaking in possession. So it seems to be that's the way the Foundation School is going to go today.
So, though St. Leonard's has been able to create some sort of doubt in the mind of the defense of Foundation, I don't want to say the two number ones in the center of the defense of Foundation. 2 ones from 11, but they've done pretty well so far to curtail the efforts of Joshua Clark and Shamari Clark as well. Chance here. Shot comes in, taken quite easily just missing. Almost presented with a gift. There's Brand. Ball played forward one time. Is blocked by Arrego Jordan. There's Joshua Clark in number 9. Trying to find space. Switches over to the right hand side for the number 6. Shamario Holder. Good tackle there. I think the player may have lost his shin guard in the process. There's the number 10. So highly thought of already. Ball shot coming into the near post. Blocked with the foot of the goalkeeper. Cameron Harris is lurking. Ball cleared by Arrego Jordan. So pressure back on St. Leonard's boys. Trying to build on this left hand side and managing to keep the ball in play is Shamario Holder and wins his team a throwing.
Yes, you can see this front three looks lethal for Foundation. Number 13, that's Jalen Phillips. You have number 8 is playing essentially in Jelani Joseph, and then of course the one I'm watching, Jalen Johnson. Powerful shot there with the right foot. It was a tight angle, as you can see. Break now forcefully by St. Leonard's, but in the end it peters out. It looks to be a goal kick. Good defending there. But really, Foundation have looked the better of the two sides going forward, and you can see this young man here, Jalen Johnson. He's been the one that's really, pulled the strings, and that one, I thought he could have squared it maybe to number 8 in Jelani Joseph, but he tried to shoot it, and good piece of keeping there from Pierre, because he was struggling a bit to get back.
What I like about Johnson so far is that he's measuring his efforts. He's not getting too involved unless he has to. Almost as he has that experience to know what he needs to do to guide himself through 2 halves of football. So, though I'm not familiar with the player, he may be one who plays at club level, given the skill and potential that we've seen so far. There's the goal scorer, Harris. Ball played into the box, so blocked by the number 12 and good defending. Headed away by the number 10, Brand, who seems to has license to play the ball long, to use or utilize the pace of Clark, the number 9. So Clark seems to be the focal point. Bit of style there. Clearance goes wrong, and Jalen Johnson again causing problems on his right hand side. Delightful ball. Great goalkeeping. And that was almost number 2, Nikhil. With great swift move there created by Jalen Johnson.
Yes, excellent piece of work there by Johnson, and you can see the Foundation bench really getting up. They thought they had that one there, but again, Pierre to me has been St. Leonard's best player, because he's keeping them in this game. They're only a goal down. We know that secondary school football can change so fast, and Johnson's going to be offside there. And of course, that's one thing that we always see creeping in, the offside. So all in all, for me, St. Leonard's need to commit a few more bodies forward. It's better to take a risk now. If they can get one before the stroke of half time, I think they'll be in pretty good set.
Ball hit long. As you said, Raheem Pierre in goal for St. Leonard's boys has made a number of good saves so far. He's definitely the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. Some really inappropriate defending, for lack of a better term or phrase, by St. Leonard's boys. Gift a throwing to Foundation, who really need no invitation. So throwing to Foundation on this left hand side. They've created some problems on the right hand side of the defense of St. Leonard's boys. Jalen Phillips. Shot on goal. And getting the foot to it. Sticking out the right boot is Pierre in goal. So a corner to the Foundation, but I don't know if he's carrying an injury, Nikhil, but on a couple of occasions he's opted to use his feet rather than his hands.
Yeah, not something we're used to seeing, Kwame. I'm just trying to look for the top goal scorers in this tournament so that we can give our viewers. But really, as I mentioned, Pierre, he's using his feet, and to me, he's still the best St. Leonard's boy player so far. But yeah, he seems to be using his feet. It's not something that we're used to seeing. You can even see it with the shot from Johnson. Really only got there in the nick of time and used his knee to keep that one out. So he has to be a bit careful as we see St. Leonard's break now in Joshua Clark, who's been their main focal point. He seems to be running all over the place from the centrally to the wings and easily dispossessed. That's the problem. I think he has too much work to do.
He has support there from Shamario Holder, but the number 9 Clark seemingly frustrated by the lack of service, went on the one-man mission. For his efforts, he has a throwing. Ball thrown into the box. Here's Clark. Ball cleared by the midfielder. Here's Arrego Jordan. Well shielded off the ball by the number 12. And the ball played over the top. Strong to react, or quick to react as well. Raheem Pierre in goal. Almost given away there. Good recovery in the end. The Foundation defender, what a turn by the number 8, but he's met by another defender. And that's the problem though. When St. Leonard's win the ball, there's no wide players. They opt to go through the middle, and they've been unable to counteract the presence of the Foundation midfield. So a goal kick, good recovery there from the number 3 of St. Leonard's boys at the back in the left back position, Armstrong.
Yes, and I've done my piece of research there, Kwame. You'll be pleased to know that this young man that we like here, Jalen Johnson, wearing the number 10, you can see him right there playing that really wing position, right wing, is the leading goal scorer for Foundation in this tournament. He has 8 goals, and they also have Jaden Phillips, who has 7 goals. He's wearing number 13. So this front line seems to be pretty lethal and poised for the Foundation school. And then for St. Leonard's, they have one in Joshua Clark, who we mentioned as the focal point. He has 9 goals. So really, this has the potential to be a goal fest if it lives up to its reputation.
So the number 9 has 9 goals. And number 5 to restart the game is Shonico Hill. Deep is Arrego Jordan. Long ball for Shamario Clark. And number 13 is dispossessed. Jalen Johnson finds the number 8. Beautiful 1-2. Well defended by Arrego Jordan.
Yes, and look at the link-up play between, number 8 in Jelani Joseph and Jalen Johnson. They seem to have a really good relationship because they're playing each other well. You can see that excellent 1-2 play there, and I really like the look of this Foundation going forward. They've got the legs, they seem to have good pace. Really, the only concern really will be for them going into the half is the defense, because I think they're letting the Joshua Clarks of the world, have a bit too free roam. As you can see, the players getting a bit of refreshment as a player is down. That seems to be number 4 for Foundation. I don't see any number 4 here. But yes, getting back to what I was telling you, Kwame, really, I think it hasn't been too one-sided. St. Leonard's have showed a bit of potential going forward, but they will need that, finishing touch from the likes of Joshua Clark and Shomari Clark as they search forward. As you can see, Foundation in the progress of another attack, but dispossessed. And really, number 11 is from St. Leonard's, Arrego Johnson. He started a bit wild here, and it seems he gets frustrated pretty quickly, and he's lost his composure and gives away again. Free kick to Foundation.
Just about 32 minutes of action completed. And speaking of composure, the goal scored in the 14th minute by Kenrian Harris. A beautiful left-footed effort from the Foundation midfielder. Shot on goal, taken just about chest height. Shot coming in from Jelani Joseph. Clearance missed. So actually 3 defenders were in number 1. Shot on goal from Joshua Clark. He was unmarked and in and behind the defense, and that was the best chance for Clark to redeem himself. The thorn of in his side has been the defender in the fluorescent orange boots, Nikhil, and for the first time being able to beat the central defender, he's unable to get his shot on target.
Yes, and you can see that really Clark is really the one that if St. Leonard's are to get back into this game, it's going to be through Joshua Clark. He's been the one, you know, really making a threat, being a threat to the Foundation School, and really played onside by the defender. Here is number 6. Really good chance on goal, and he hits it straight. And how did he miss that, Kwame? Wow. Slots it over the bar. He had the entire goal to aim at after a great save by Neblet. He had a second chance, a second bite at the cherry from Shamario Holder, and hits it over the post. The crossbar, sorry. How did he manage that, Kwame?
He didn't go for the corner, and in that aspect, he put himself under tremendous pressure going for power. But the recovery from the defender, the corner suggests that he got a block, so maybe the second chance was going home somewhere in the V, because he was definitely shooting with power again when he just needed a tap. But at this level, still learning their craft. We've seen players also at the professional level miss. So the pressure telling in that moment. Corner taken by Brian to the near post, headed on by the number 3. I believe the ball possession will stay with St. Leonard's boys. From a vantage point, I thought the last touch came off of the left back and number 3, Nahai Armstrong. So, as Armstrong manages to win back possession, then gives it away. So a free kick now goes against Armstrong. Looks a bit tired, but as you said, for the moment, he has to hang there. Ball headed on, then cleared by Armstrong. Holder losing possession. As I said, whenever St. Leonard's have the ball, they play in the center of the midfield with no width, and they found themselves unable to get out of a hole in which they create. Whereas when Foundation get the ball, they play with width, looking for the likes of Johnson and Phillips. So a free kick going in favor of Foundation boys.
Yes, and I'm still reminiscing that chance there from Shamario Holder. Can't believe that he was not able to get on the score sheet with that one, you know, Kwame. He had the entire bar to aim at, entire goal to aim at, slid over the crossbar, but you can hear as soon as he missed that shot, the St. Leonard's coach doing what he should have, said, don't worry about it, guys, let's get on with it. And I think they'll be encouraged by that, you know, Kwame, because it's showing the St. Leonard's that, of course, they can get forward. As you can see, a clearance here by the number 12 for St. Leonard's. That is Rashad Paris, and here come St. Leonard's again, but that ball not played enough to get to Clark. Clark looks a bit tired, but he's going to be in for a long day if there's going to be no subs, and Johnson can't get on the end of that one. Really open in the midfield. But you can definitely see that. I think the strategy for Foundation going into the break, Kwame, will be to man mark Joshua Clark, because he's already been the pivotal point of their attack.
Chance here for Foundation. The pass, not the best. Chance here for Harris on his left foot. Pushed away. Both hands there used. But would you believe it or not, as you described earlier, the best player on the field so far for St. Leonard's boys Raheem in goal. Pierre. Good save.
Yes, excellent save by Pierre. But I'm wondering, and you can see the frustration from the St. Leonard's players. Why is Ken Ryan Harris being left unmarked at the edge of the box each time? You know, he's had 2 free shots and nearly got on the score sheet for a second time as the corner comes in now. Is high. Not a great clearance off the head, and it's going to be half time, Kwame. So 1-0 to the, of course, foundation. Goal coming in the 14th minute from Ken Ryan Harris. Really been an open half to start with. What a chance we saw from Shamar Holder, really. And then from foundation, of course, Ken Ryan Harris again on the stroke of the half. How did you assess it?
Good football from both teams. Chances created on either side. Both goalkeepers brought into action. And join us shortly for second half action of this Barbados Secondary Schools Football League action. Semi-final live from the Ability Turf with St. Leonard's boys trailing with 1-0. Foundation lead at the half. We have a restart from live from the Wildy Turf, Trident 10 Television Network, coverage of the under 16 semifinal, the Barbados Secondary School Football League, with Foundation leading 1-0. Goal scored in the first half, 14th minute, Cameron Harris. St. Leonard's here desperately in need of an equalizer, and also with no players on the bench, are tasked with that difficult responsibility of keeping themselves in the game and also trying to create chances to unsettle the developments and the attacking play created by Foundation. And joined again for the second half by Nick Hill, Utam Chandani. What do you expect for this second 35?
Yeah, so I think it should be, a great encounter. I do expect St. Leonard's to get one back, but the way Foundation have been playing, I think I could see a Foundation win here 2-1. But nevertheless, you never know with the secondary school football. Of course, this is coverage of the Coca-Cola Barbados Secondary Schools Football League, the under 16. We were here last year, well, obviously at the University of West Indies, but a new location now at the Turf, and it's number 8. And Shaniko hold out the free kick, and it's gone through the gloves of Neblet. Can you believe it? I just said, call me that. I was wondering if St. Leonard's could get an equalizer, and how did Neblet, who looked so good all game, came out the blocks a bit cold there, and it went straight through his hands. 1-1.
He spoke about the windy conditions and the curve on the ball as well. He got himself in a pretty awkward position. He wanted to push the ball, but also in a sense he had his fingers pointed as if he wanted to push the ball over the crossbar, but the ball was dipping as opposed to rising. And unfortunately for Neblet, he has contributed to the equalizer scored by Brian, the number 8. Kamal Brian. Here's Daniel Thomas. And they will want to forget about that almost immediately as they come down this right-hand side. But good defending by Brian, the goal scorer. His nickname is Ben 10. We've also heard some other nicknames coming in from the sidelines. Number 12 wins possession. Ball switched for a teammate. Play breaks down. And St. Leonard's boys have started this second half with more positivity. And differently, they've changed the tempo. Foundation now trying to react. Although they had a heavy lunch at that break, they've been pretty sluggish since the restart. No trying to keep possession. It's Thomas. It's the goal scorer, Harris. Chance here for Jelani Joseph, and not threatening Raheem Pierre in goal.
And let's not forget, Kwame, if it stays like this at the end of the game, we're going to be going to extra time. So but it's been pretty open again. A very important goal for St. Leonard's. That shows me that the right things were set at the half break, because you could see from as soon as they touched the ball, they had a great link-up play there with Clark. The two Clarks linked up really well to get them the free kick. They looked relentless on the attack where it was fouled, and then of course Kamal Bryant put it in the back of the net. So already it's been an improved start by the St. Leonard's School. As you can see now, Foundation, who know they need another goal, we're trying to break in possession, but here comes St. Leonard's, and it's now really peters out to number 6 in Shamara Holder. But again, dispossessed. It just seems to be a seesaw really. Every time one of the teams gets the balls, they just seem to give it away. And now Foundation with Johnson playing it back to the midfield, looking to build up something here through Jaden Phillips, wearing number 13 on his back, but can't get it again. But Foundation's still there now, teammate, the attacking mid flicks it down, but again, a seesaw really, giving away possession.
Well, 5 minutes gone in the second half, and I don't think Jalen Johnson has touched the ball as yet. Ball headed away with the defender, and ball handled by Christian St. Hill, the number 10. I think that is also important. They will need to get Johnson going again. As you said earlier, he has 8 goals in the competition. 8 goals so far in the competition. Sun seemingly in the eyes of Pierre, but the free kick is a tame one. Ball hit long by Pierre. Rego Jordan gives it away. Twist on the turn from the number 12. There's the goal scorer Harris trying to find Jelani Johnson on the inside. Ball curves away. And then a long ball hit. And Joshua Clark tugging and creating pressure. What a turn by Clark. Still Clark. Clark into the side netting. And I don't think there was any deflection there, so it's a goal kick awarded by the assistant referee on his right-hand side.
Yeah, what a move by Clark there. He's showing his skill, and you can see his physicality. Definitely one of the bigger players on the field today. Using it to dispossess his defenders, steal that one, and really an excellent piece of skill there to turn away. But I found he could have cut inside instead of going out and, you know, trying to take on the near post. But all in all, a good effort. As you can see, Foundation trying to break again, but it's back with St. Leonard's and back with Clark. He has Shomari Clark in his vision and dispossessed, but back to St. Leonard's. A long shot being taken, but I think Neblet, yes, he does, takes that one very easily. So definitely, you have to say, Kwame, that St. Leonard's have been the better of the two teams to start.
The halftime team talk from Fabian Messiah definitely working. An example there of the class from Jalen Johnson, his first touch of the second half. And number 11 finds the number 13 in space. Jalen Phillips, ball cleared. Only as far as Phillips again. The number 12 as well hasn't really seen much of the ball. Kobe Nurse. Since the resumption, reverse ball finds the number 8. Well dealt with by the defense. Looks like a Rego Jordan. Joshua Clark, who's attracted the attention. Ball over the top for the number 6, and eventually the flag comes up for offside. The number 6, they're almost in. Shamario Holder.
So pretty balanced here. And we, as you can see, a free kick now taken by the centre back. Looks to be hitting up long up the field, and he does, but to no one. As the striker for St. Leonard's, that is Jelani Joseph, would try to gain possession. But again, we speak about how fluid the game has been. You know, ball already flowing between the two teams, but very easily dispossessed. So they want to really strengthen the midfield, you know, to build up a play, because Foundation will need to do a lot of work here. It seems to be that, you know, they're not able to gain any separation from St. Leonard's. But look at the space that young Jalen Johnson has. Sorry, Jalen Johnson on this right wing, left wing, sorry. Well, right wing, you can see how much he's in acres of space there.
Noticeably as well, in the first half, he was playing on the right-hand side. Now he's been switched and he's been disengaged. Almost to say that they've pulled the plug on the attacking midfielder. He hasn't seen much of the ball. He's been starved, and that has really worked more in favor of St. Leonard's boys. They've done less defending in their attacking third. Most of the danger, or possession rather, for Foundation has been in the midfield as opposed to around the attacking third. So they've had an easier job. The likes of Rego Jordan and the number 3. Chance here for Joshua Clark. It's brought down by the defender, who's going to be showing the yellow. And the very smart foul committed on the runaway train. Joshua Clark, he's pretty fit though. Nikhil, he's creating a lot of problems as well.
Yes, he definitely looks the part, you know, and there's a reason he scored 9 goals in this competition, Kwame. You know, he looks like he could be playing some under-19 football. I'm sure he does, because he's definitely looks like a great prospect. He was through on goal there, but brought down by the defender. Really had no choice, and really a coach would not mind a yellow card of that sort when he's brought down there, because he stopped a real goal-scoring opportunity. As you can see, number 8 for the St. Leonard's Boys School, that's the goal scorer Kamal Bryan, Ben 10 as you see it. He looks at it. He's scored 1 free kick into the box now, but narrowly over. It looked like Neblet lost that one a bit there, so fortunate for him. It sails over the top of the crossbar. So 1-1. Don't forget, folks, this is the Barbados Secondary Schools Football League Under-16 coverage, and it's really been a great start to semi-final 1.
So almost a nightmare there for Nablet, seeing the presence of Bryan again presiding over the free kick. Poor goal kick. Chance here for St. Leonard's Boys again. Shot comes in and taken on the second attempt by Nablet. We'll also inform the viewing public that Kamal Bryan is my cousin, the goal scorer. Ball cleared by the defender. The bunks there proving the undoing of Jalen Phillips. Unable to control it is the number 13, Shamari Clark. Bryan gives it away. So all of a sudden, now a frantic pace to this game. Beautiful chest control there. Strong cover defending by Shamari Holder. And Christian St. Hill is robbed. Here comes the number 13. Chance here for the counter attack with Foundation. The goal scorer, Harris, who needs to get on his left foot. Chance here. And beats Raheem Pierre at the near post. And wild celebrations again from the bench of the Foundation and Christchurch-based team.
Yes, really well done by Harris, who gets on the score sheet for the second time, Kwame. I'm just going to take a look back at the goal here to see, you know, let's have a second look at it. But really, he was through on possession, and you saw he take it with the left foot. That's pretty interesting, you know. He really, again, positioned it in the bottom corner. What a goal for Foundation, because they looked, I was about to say that they looked more lackluster of the two teams. Kept giving away possession to St. Leonard's, but as we know that secondary school football, how it goes, it only takes one goal to swing the momentum. Really well put away by Harris. He seems to be a real goal scorer for the Foundation side, and he's put them 2 goals up. Sorry, 1 goal up, but of course scoring 2 goals for them on the day.
Yeah, the defender really needed to get closer to Harris. He hasn't shown any inclination of or usage of that right leg, right boot. He's been using that left foot, showing favor to it. Ball comes in from Christian St. Hill, the number 10. Headed on by the number 13, unable to find Clark, and miscommunication between Joshua Clark and the aforementioned number 13. Ball cleared, but still a throw into St. Leonard's Boys.
Yes, and I thought just now, you know, Clark had a real chance to play, to link up between him and Joshua Clark, of course, but not able to come on the end of it. Now St. Leonard's will feel under a bit of pressure to get that goal, because of course Foundation playing with that cushion, that 1 goal cushion, and you can see they're breaking again. I told you about the momentum. It's swung now and it's coming forward. That is young Jelani Joseph. He sees, he had young Jalen Johnson there with him, but he decided to take a right-footed shot, but way wide there. I'm pretty disappointed with that, and you can see Johnson is as well. He flings his arms in the air. But that's something Foundation need to improve on. I mean, they got a lucky break there, and really well put away by Harris, but I think now, of course, after scoring the goal, they could afford to commit a few bodies back, and you can see they have that back four pretty structured. But for St. Leonard's Boys, they have to go for it.
So a case of lucky versus unlucky, as screams came in for an offside shot. Joshua Clark. Clark trying to find number 6. On the first to react is Nablit. On the second attempt of a clearance, he slips, but does enough to get the ball out of the danger area. Shawniqua Hill throws it inside. The number 19 is Jacoby Paris. Trying to find Holder, who then gives it away. Number 13 is dancing his way. It runs into trouble. Some awkward noises being made from the bench of the foundation team. Ball cleared. And hit on, looking for Shamari Clark. Clark is under pressure and gives it away. Good defended by Jelani Johnson. Ball given away and a bit of cramp seemingly setting in on the number 3, Nakai Armstrong. But I must say as well, foundation always look dangerous when the number 8 drops deep to collect. And it's amazing to see the switch from Jalen Johnson from left to right after the problems he created in the first half.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the coach of foundation would have opted for that switch. But of course, we'll have to wait and see if it really pays off for them. But this youngster, Jaden Phillips, who has 7 goals, you can hear some screams coming from the foundation bench. They're loving the skill here shown by their players, but Phillips looks pretty good to me. He's doing a good job, but I definitely think this young man, Joshua Clark from St. Leonard's, the goals are just written on it by his name. I think, Kwame, I'm going to predict that he gets one here because he's lucky in the movement that I'm seeing from him. You know, he just needs that pass, and he has the potential to put it away.
Also, as well, looking at the players tasked with the responsibility to keep him at bay, their hands akimbo, which suggests that the heat is taking its toll on them. But Clark looks always ready to run. Miscontrol by Brand. Defender managing to get out of trouble and then gives it away. Brand just behind Clark, unable to turn as Thomas was on him, and the shot coming in from Shamari Clark not on target. So a goal kick to Christchurch Foundation boys.
Yes, not able to find Clark, and I'm actually hearing the coach tell Kamal Bryan to push up and play that striker role, and let the likes of Joshua Clark drop a bit back. We'll have to see if maybe he can be the one to carry the ball forward a bit for the St. Leonard's boys. It may prove dividends because we've seen Bryan is able to get on the score sheet. He knows where the goal is. So if they can get the creativity from Clark, who's looked really good, as we see young Johnson beats 2 defenders and puts it through the legs of one of the St. Leonard's boys defenders there, but it just peters away from him. The turf, the type of material used, ball goes pretty quickly on it, and here comes a break now from Shamira Holder, but again peters out. Good piece of defensive work by the foundation school, but that was a great chance for young Johnson. As you can see, he's very disappointed with the fact not being able to get on the end of that one, but it's a throw in now for number 5 for St. Leonard's. That is Shawniqua Hill. Puts it in now. Squared into the box, but to no one, and you can hear the coach just kicking the ball. And he's quite right. As you see, foundation now with numbers forward, they're breaking. It's an attempt to find the striker, and a bit of a mishap from keeper Pierre, but he picks that one up in the end. But ball played a bit too much there for Jelani Joseph, not able to get on the end of that one. But here they can't come again, and there's some good physicality being shown by Harris, but it will be a throw. Kwame, you seem to come back with something. What do you bring?
The goal scored in the 40th minute. I believe that was the last strike. Trying to get the official time for the second goal. Another free kick going the direction of St. Leonard's boys. Actually, Foundation, who were kicking from right to left as a throwing. Some kind of misunderstanding. Yellow card shown to Kamal Brand, and number 8 for St. Leonard's boys. Guilty of dissent, trying to play and referee the game at the same time. So the throwing be taken, headed back by Jelani, number 8, and another shot there taken. So he is indeed looking for his hat trick. So the coach urging the players to keep playing. The referee is not the reason that you're trailing. The chances we've created, we've decided or opted not to punish. Foundation, ball cleared. Strong right boot up the field. Jalen Phillips. Still Jalen Phillips. Just looting the touch. And Nakai Armstrong kicking the ball right on to the number 8. That's Christian St. Hill. So the 2-footed tackle there from a Kobe Nurse. He's just going to receive. Well, he's going to get the yellow card, no, from the referee. So yellow card shown to the number 12, a Kobe Nurse.
A bit harsh, that one, for me, because I think it was a 50-50 ball, and, you know, Nurse there was a second to it. In that case, as you can see, St. Francis behind you, Kwame, getting pretty warm. They have, as of course we will be bringing that coverage to you, of course, Trident 10, the TV network. What a piece of skill there shown by Johnson. He looks an excellent player, puts it through the legs of his defender again, but is dispossessed. Really young, a great young prospect. But yes, getting back to our second semi-final, Queen's College versus St. Francis Secondary School. As you can see now, a lot of numbers ahead. A shot taken. What a save! Wow, what a save from Pierre. The ball peters out and it's put behind the goal by the St. Leonard's defender, Shonico Hill. But what a chance it was from Foundation. Great save by Pierre.
That was a top class save, and it had goal written all over it. He definitely didn't use his feet there on the kill. He spread himself wide and got a strong left hand, and the second shot came in. And luckily for St. Leonard's boys, the deflection didn't go towards the goal, but they went behind for a corner. The change made. I'm able to tell you the name of the player because there's no number assignment. Well, here's Harris taking the corner, headed on. Goal chance here for Johnson. Another deflection, another corner.
Yes, what a takedown from Johnson. The ball deflected to him in the air. He brought it down beautifully, slotted past his defender to the right, and it took a deflection and nearly eased in the bar there. So St. Leonard's have to be careful. Pierre's keeping him in the game. But if they are to go through one down, Kwame, you would think that that would put the Foundation School into the final. We're going to get the corner kick, as it looks like Johnson, he seems to be in everything, much like a Kevin De Bruyne, wearing the similar number 10 on his back. Great piece of skill. He puts an area ball in, but no one on the end of it. Poor clearance by the defender, and what a piece of skill there by the attacker from Foundation. A deflection again, and Pierre comes up trumps for St. Leonard's once again. So Foundation appealing for, it looked to be, I'm not sure, maybe going past the goal line, but very comfortable for the referee in that situation. But wow, Raheem Pierre keeping them into it. Kwame, what a close one we're having here.
Just about 24 minutes completed in the second half. Playing 35. Try taken by Joshua Clark. There's Arrego Jordan. Still Jordan dispossessed. Jalen Phillips trying to find Jelani Number 8 is unsuccessful. It's Jelani Joseph. Still, Shamari Clark unable to get the ball out from under his leg to play in. Joshua Clark. Here's Jacoby Paris in number 19. Gives it away needlessly. And in space is Jalen Johnson. So Johnson, Jalen Phillips. Jalen Johnson goes past Armstrong and wins a corner. So more pressure coming from another set piece opportunity from Christchurch Foundation boys.
Yes, and really showing good pace to win that corner there. And I don't know, as the minutes tick on here, Kwame, St. Leonard's boys seem to be demotivated, and rightfully so. Put into the goal. What a really lackluster defending. Unmarked in the box is number 13 for Foundation. That is Jaden Phillips to add to his tally of 7 goals. He now has 8 in the competition. Way too easy. You saw the St. Leonard's players running at the corner. They played it short, but then it set up an easy passage into the box for Phillips. And he comes to the bench. He comes to the bench to take out a shirt, and it actually says Nayam, who went to Foundation and unfortunately passed. I think it was a month ago, Kwame. So a really great celebration by him. I don't know what's his relation with her, but it's great to see that he can, go back to his roots. And what a goal for him. He seems, if all goes well, Kwame, book Foundation for a spot in the Under-16 Barbados Secondary Schools Football League final.
So the goal scored by Phillips in 71st minute to double their lead. Make it 3-1, and the mistake made from Kai Neblett earlier in the half almost forgotten since the 2 goals have been scored, and the first goal that breaks the contribution made by Cameron Harris. Out wide is Jalen Johnson, starting to get more and more involved in this game. Beautiful pass from Johnson. Harris looking for his hat trick. He went down before the diving board came out. Here's Joshua Clark. Clark with a burst of speed. Joshua Clark. Good save by Neblett. Chance here for Hoda. And he misses again from point blank in number 6. And the coach says not again, but it's very unfortunate for the player at this age to find himself twice missing from right in front of the goal.
Yes, you have to feel for him, that one to me a bit harder for me because it took a bounce. He took it on the really took a bounce pretty high up, and he was trying to bring it down, but in the end couldn't get it down in time. But Clark must feel really hard done by. What a spin this is from him. He beats his defender, beats one. That's going to be a penalty for sure. Oh yes, St. Leonard's have filled the void of not getting a goal, and it's going to be a red for Foundation. Do we have a twist in the tail? What a move from Clark as he still stays down. Kwame, this striker here, you heard the coach saying we need goals. What a play it has been from him in the last 2 possessions. He's nearly got a goal from Holder, and now nearly getting a penalty for his side.
A rash challenge. Foundation goal, a man down, though for the moment they have a 2-goal advantage. Kamal Bryant steps away to allow Joshua Clark, the man who's created the most problems for Foundation, to take this penalty. Joshua Clark, the number 9, versus Kai Neblett in goal. Joshua Clark powerfully down the middle and a scramble for the ball. But what we do know is that St. Leonard's have a second, and in these dying moments, it's not over yet.
Wow, what a penalty. You saw the keeper actually picked it. He went the right place, put his hands up, but he had no chance, Kwame, because it was so powerfully struck. And Clark then grabs the ball from the grasp of the keeper there in an attempt to, you know, they're short for time. They need another goal, but the way St. Leonard's have gone forward since Foundation have scored their third. Look at them now. It's Clark again. He wins it. Goes past one. A shot here. A straight at keeper Neblet. But back to Holder, who can redeem himself. No, back to Clark. It's all happening here, Kwame. This is the game we wanted. As you can, I was telling you, as soon as Foundation got the third, the game has completely opened up. And now St. Leonard's are back in it. 3-2.
Mad finish. I will also say, to my disappointment, in covering these school games or the times that they play at, because it's a school competition. Obviously, you have to play during the school time, but the games are always highly competitive, and no doubt, if these games were played weekend and late in the evening, you will have the support of family members and friends, and also the students. Chance here for Joshua Clark. 1v1, Clark with the equalizer. 2 goals in a matter of moments. And the boys from the city have jolted the comfort of Foundation in a matter of moments. And now the game equal at 3 goals apiece.
Kwame, can you believe it? What a finish from Clark. I know you had the same thought. As soon as he brought and it was one-on-one with the keeper, there was no doubt he was missing that. He brought it down, controlled it well on his head. And it seems to be that Clark has pushed further up the field, and the midfielders have also pushed up and have able to link up with Clark. We've seen him, you know, dispossess the Foundation defense, and they have come back from a 2-goal deficit, and now it's 3-3. What a fight shown here from Clark, who now has 11 goals and the most in the tournament. He previous top scorer Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, who will have a chance to, you know, get on the score sheet in the next semi-final for Queen's College. But now Clark, wow, this young man definitely looks like something special.
I've never heard his name before, but I can assure you I would never forget it. I haven't heard it. He's onside. Joshua Clark here, creating problems. Clark, still Clark. He took out 2. Just unable to get the ball on his boot. He took out 2. And for a moment, no doubt, Nikhil Neblet must have been thinking, is this the end? Harris is offside, and a quick resumption. There's Christian St. Hill. And Clark handles the ball in his ambitions to bring it under control.
It shows great fight from this St. Leonard's side, you know, to be 3-1 down and still get back into it. It's really great to see. And wow, young Joshua Clark really looks like something, able to get St. Leonard's back into it. 2 great finishes, one with the penalty, and then, you know, slotting that one into the bottom corner. And now, as we mentioned, every time a team gets a goal, it seems the momentum just shifts. And I think maybe Foundation may have been a culprit of easing off the gas pedal when they went 3-1 up. Must have thought, you know, it was over. But then St. Leonard's has something else to say about that. So now with Johnson, who's come considerably back, it seems to be told by the coach, you know, get on the defense, because really the St. Leonard school are coming pretty hard. But now, and Johnson seems pretty tired because he's not even running up when Foundation get the ball, like right now, as they have it going forward, but not many options going forward, and it'll be St. Leonard's ball.
So not much time left in this game. Entering the 34th minute of the second half. They're playing 35. The game even, 3 goals apiece. And the last 10 minutes, really, St. Leonard's boys, who never really seemed out of it, though they weren't in control of it, they just seemed to keep playing their natural game. Not much arguing, even when they were 2 goals behind. Just seemed like a well-oiled outfit. Chance here, and a beautiful defending there from the number 5. Sean Nicole Hill stopping Jalen Johnson from getting in on goal. So the foul there committed by Nakai Armstrong. And no, Foundation have a chance to win it late here. Nikhil, any goal that scores no would definitely be the ticket into the finals for any of the two of these teams. Jalen Johnson punched away by Pierre. Chance for Harris, dipping, but not dipping enough to threaten Raheem Pierre in goal.
Yes, what a chance it was for Harris on his, looked to be his stronger foot. But narrowly over, and I think we could be getting some extra time here, Kwame. And after really a late start, and now getting some extra time, can you imagine if this one went to penalties? I can tell you that Neblet won't be too happy to have to face up to Joshua Clark, who's had his number for the entire day.
So Clark, who was also dropped considerably deep. I think he went for some refreshment. And also as well, you really have to highlight once again that they're still in this game without a sub on the bench. The players that started the game played the entirety of the 70 minutes so far, as I believe any moment now the final whistle will come from the referee. Daniel Thomas, too long, ball played forward for Jalen Johnson. Throwing to St. Leonard's boys who've done the impossible, really, Nikhil Uttam Chandani.
Yes, well, it's really been a great game, exactly what you want in the semi-final, Kwame, but don't forget, folks, tune in as well for the next semi-final. Queen's College going up against St. Francis Secondary School. And that's going to be a big one as well. Should be highly competitive with a lot of goals. Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, 10 goals for the competition. And here comes St. Leonard's. Can they steal it? It's Clark. He's onside. Tears down the wing. He's cutting in now. Nobody to pass to in the box. He knows it. All the work to do. He's looking for a foul. Gets past one defender very easily, Kwame, but not the second. As the ball falls for that was Jacoby Paris, and a hard tackle by the Foundation defender, and some help needed for that one because that was really a powerful tackle.
Well, definitely the player there taking no prisoners. He's a bit nonchalant there on taking his shot, and it really sounded nasty. Here the coach of Foundation taking the opportunity to refresh Daniel Thomas. So Jacoby Paris in a bit of discomfort. At least he's been able to flex his foot forward and back. And the final whistle is blown. So we are going to have stoppage time in this Barbados Secondary School Football League semi-final. Foundation boys, 3. St. Leonard's boys, 3. St. Leonard's boys, the latter, coming from 2 goals behind in this second half to keep himself in this semi-final game.
Well, extra time on us, and what else could you ask for in a semi-final event? 6 goals, a 6-goal thriller, and we may be in for some more. We are going to have to be in for some more if one of these teams are to come out victorious and book a place in the final with, both teams doing quite well. But what about that performance from young Joshua Clark, who scored 2 goals, bringing them back down from 3-1. Excellent piece of work there. And really, St. Leonard's will be backing him if they are to come out victorious here. And he is on hat trick. Of course, so is Kamal Bryan. as well as Kenrian Harris. So a lot for a lot of hat tricks on offer here for both sides, but none of we worried about that. They'll want to get the ball in the back of the net regardless of who it is. And we are in for really what should be a great game. So as the players gain some refreshments, we'll have to see. It looks to be Paris is still down with that injury, getting some treatment from the coach. As both teams take some time to rest for what's going to be some stoppage, as he said, but more extra time. As both goals will look for both teams, will look for a result.
So welcome back to the Ability Turf, the semi-final of the Under-16 Barbados Secondary School Football League. Regulation time completed. Both teams ending 3 goals apiece. And Foundation are going to take the first penalty of this semifinal. There's no extra time. And Jalen Johnson is going to take the first penalty for Foundation. And number 10, Johnson versus Raheem Pierre of St. Leonard's Boys in goal. Johnson, low to the right of Pierre, comfortably slotted home the kill.
Yeah, great composure shown from the little man, as they like to call him, young Johnson. He's had an exceptional game, and now topping it off, putting the cherry on the cake, Kwame. Really, actually, the keeper moved in that direction, but had no chance because the positioning was spot on by young Johnson.
So Kai Neblet now in goal for Foundation versus Christian St. Hill, the number 10 St. Leonard's Boys. St. Hill, he gets his name in the scorer's sheet as well. Neblet diving away to his right, but unable to repel the spot kick from the number 10.
Yes, well put away again. Good move by Neblet. It shows me that keepers are very focused and concentrated, that they're going the right direction, watching closely the attacker's foot there. But in the end, too wide of him, and easy goal there for the St. Leonard's player.
It's Christian St. Hill. Now is Daniel Thomas of Christchurch Foundation Boys versus Raheem Pierre. Thomas, powerful, and also to the right of Pierre. Foundation lead 2-1.
Very interesting. I mean, all the goals we've seen so far, all 3 penalties have been in that top left corner. And you can see Thomas very delighted with himself for scoring that one. He's put in a shift today, and really he's done well. And of course, folks, you're watching the penalties. It's gone to a straight penalty, which is pretty surprising because I heard the referee when he blew the final whistle, he said extra time, but in the end he changed his decision. Now we have Rashad Paris as the whistle blows again to the left, and it's again another goal. So 2-2. Kwame, both teams scoring all of their penalties and putting away their chances. Again, great effort by, of course, young Paris.
So very well taken penalties. It's Jalen Phillips now to take the third spot kick. And would you believe it, with just about 3 minutes to go in regulation time, Joshua Clark with a brace would have curtailed the efforts of Foundation. And now Foundation find themselves in a penalty shootout. St. Leonard's Boys, the scores locked as Phillips will take this third penalty kick. Phillips versus Pierre. Jalen Phillips, he goes to the right to change the monotony that we've seen so far. And well taken penalty to make it 3-2 as Kamal Brand, who scored earlier from a free kick, will take this third penalty for St. Leonard's Boys.
Yes, so really pretty even things so far after the Foundation. Phillips just easily put that one away, and now you're gonna have Shonico Gill, I believe. Kamal Bryan taking this one. He scored already and hits it powerfully. Wow, past Neblet. He had no chance there with the left foot. He scored already for the day, and your cousin Kwame seems to be doing very well today.
2 goals in the game. Neblet seeing his nemesis blast one from the penalty spot. He went straight, but the power on it was too hot to handle. Not sure of the name of this kicker for Foundation, but 3 goals apiece at the moment. And Pierre still with the task to force a save. And he had a chance there, Nikhil. He guessed the right direction. And he unable to keep the ball out was Raheem Pierre. And Foundation goal into the lead once again. The advantage now. And score 4-3 as Joshua Clark, the most dangerous player on the field for St. Leonard's boys, steps up to take this 4th penalty.
Well, it seems like the St. Leonard's boys have saved this one. The secret weapon, but he's no secret after his performance today, is Joshua Clark against Neblet. Hits it over the post. Can you believe it? Kwame, the least expected man that you would have put your life savings on to score that penalty. Hits it over the top. He can't believe it. And now all Foundation needs to do is score. I cannot believe Clark has missed.
Well, our cameraman called it. Not familiar with batting at this school level, but he told me that Clark was going to kick the ball over the crossbar, and his crystal ball seems to be effective. Kerrion Harris, who as well scored a brace in regulation time with a chance to put this game to bed to make it 5-3. Kerrion Harris to the left of Raheem Pierre and the coach Frederick Giddings. His team and subs rejoice in his sprint to the middle. Foundation are into the finals of the Barbados Secondary School Football League Under-16 competition. St. Leonard's are out after losing 5-3 in penalties.
Yes, really gutted are the St. Leonard's boys, but you have to give it to Foundation, who did really well today, to get the win on penalties. Really gifted this win after some luck by that missed penalty from Joshua Clark. I think he went for too much power in that situation. But Foundation, they've led the entire game from 1-0, and then 2-1, and then 3-1, and then in penalties winning it. So a great performance by them. You look at the likes of that attack, Jalen Johnson for me, excellent game. You had Jaden Phillips, Jelani Joseph, all linked up pretty well. And of course the goal scorer, Kerrion Harris. So all in all, great performance by Foundation. They'll be happy and want to watch in the final of the Barbados Secondary Schools Under-16 football final.
So Foundation, who almost gave it away late defensively, and also had a player sent off late in the game as well. And unfortunately, an injury to Jacoby Parrish, the number 19 of St. Leonard's boys. 2 goals for Joshua Clark in a losing effort, scoring very late on in the 65th and 67th. The other goals of merit. The opening goal scored by Kerrion Harris in the 13th minute and doubling the lead. Sorry, I beg your pardon. The opening goal scored in the 13th minute for Kerrion Harris. Kamal Bryan provided the equalizer in the 37th. In the 48th, Kerrion Harris scored his second. In the 61st, Jalen Phillips doubled the lead. And then it was the Joshua Clark show in the 65th and 67th minute, respectively. Game going to penalties for then Foundation to win 5-3. And we'll join you shortly for the second game of this Under-16 semifinal fixture. St. Leonard's boys versus St. Francis Secondary. Good evening and welcome back to the Wildy Turf, Bridgetown, Barbados. This is semi-final action, game 2 of the Barbados Secondary Schools Football League. St. Francis boys playing in the black and white shirts, black and white pants, black socks versus Queen's College playing in the white and red. Once again joined by Nikhil Uttam Chandani for action in the semi-final. We've just seen one semi-final completed. What are your thoughts and expectations for this second game on the evening fixture?
Yes, well, great semi-final number 1. Great to be here with you, Kwame. I think we're going to be in for a great game. Of course, St. Francis Secondary going up against Queen's College. Queen's College have been here, you know, I remember last year they were in the final, going up against St. Leonard's, I believe, and they're looking for a place again. I think it's going to be very hard for St. Francis to overcome a really roaring and raring Queen's College side. But as we saw in the last game, you never know. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the two sides start.
I think they were losing finalist to Dayton Griffith at the time. Queen's College. And yes, you mentioned earlier the number of goals scored by Khalil Van Poel Nurse in number 17. More recognizable figures on the field as he's also one of the tallest. And for the first touch of this game, St. Francis will have possession, kicking from right to left. Just about 4:15. 4:14 to be exact on my clock. As we have a kickoff, 35 minutes a half, ball hit long by the number 8 in search of the number 13 for St. Francis. And the early throwing awarded to St. Leonard's, to Queen's College, I beg your pardon. As both teams trying to claim a spot in the finals, having just witnessed Christchurch Foundation boys advance to the finals. Attempted ball looking for Ethan Squires. Windy conditions here. At the turf. Ball given away and then hit long by the number 21, Damani Yearwood. So immediately you could see the space and the separation in the formation for Queen's College. Players evenly spread across this lush green playing field. What will St. Francis produce? Not really a household name in Barbados, but reaching the semifinals, they will have to have played with some degree of merit to get so far.
Yes, well, pretty open start as we're used to seeing with these two all secondary schools really at this level. As you see a long ball play to Van Poel Nurse, that's going to be the key for Queen's College. How much can they get him to touch the ball? We saw in the last game, St. Leonard's boys, when they linked up with their striker Joshua Clark, is when they really were provided with the goals. So we have to see if QC can do that, and they are trying now, as Nurse nearly broke away from his defender there with the 17 rearing on his back. It's Masri in midfield now. Now to that was Khalik Haynes, sorry, now wearing number 13. A bit of miscommunication from the St. Francis players, but it's great to see. Also, Kwame, a private school actually getting to this level. It shows some good emphasis being placed on sports as Nurse breaks through, but he'll be offside there. But great to see a private school in the semifinals.
Well said. It's good to see the level of competition as well from, as you said, the private school entering a competition more recognized for public secondary schools. So in this day and age, togetherness that sports creates is always a beautiful thing. Joshua Harvey in goal for Queens College. Building through the middle. The number 10 trying to play it forward. Not getting the intended target. So free kick. It's Kishmar Ramsey committing the offense. Seeing two number 21s on this team sheet for St. Francis boys, but I believe that the number 21 starting is Malachi Nelson, headed away with the defense. It's mastery. Only as far as the number 10, the attempted 1-2 is well read by the number 8, Zion Mears. He makes the clearance from the middle of the field.
Yes, and Queens College have dominated possession to start things off here. As you know, the goalkeeper Joshua Harvey, what a ball play to Squires down the wing. And he plays it now for the striker. That's Mears. And it's into the goal by Nurse. Spilled by the keeper. Spilled by keeper Grant, from St. Francis. And too easy for Vanderpool Nurse, who now adds 11 goals. It was already going in, but you know, that harsh feeling for the attacker. Nurse steals it and puts it in the back of the net. One Love QC, a really dominating performance so far. I mentioned just before the goal that they had the most of possession. Another early goal in another semi-final. Kwame.
Goal scored in the opening minutes of this game, the 5th minute. Nicholas Grant will want to forget that. There was a team shot from Yanni Marshall in number 8. And he was unable to collect, and the lurking, lanky Vanderpool Nurse with an easy goal there, sneaking in at the back post to deliver. And Queens College take the lead in this second semi-final. Ball headed down by Yanni Marshall. Played on by the number 16. Here's Vanderpool Nurse trying to create more mischief, and cleared by the number 4, Thomas Padmore. So St. Francis looking pretty rattled here, Nikhil, in these opening moments of this game.
Yes, really crucial goal for Queens College to put them, ahead of things here, getting an early goal. And we're going to have to see what St. Francis can do here in response to that goal. Can they peg an early one back? We saw the same thing in semi-final 1 with Foundation, but then early in the second half, St. Leonard's were able to get one back, and the game completely opened up from there in that 6-goal thriller. So let's see what St. Francis, a relatively new school, has to offer.
Troy awarded. Troy taken by the number 2, Kalani Belgrave. Intercepted by Ramsey. One-time football played between Vanderpool Nurse and Ethan Squires. You've always formed a very dangerous combination. The number 6 Squires and the number 17 Vanderpool Nurse. I think they also play for the same club. So familiarity always breeds contempt. There's Yanni Marshall in number 8. Strong challenge from the number 8 on the number 11, Jaheim Adams. Trying to be taken by the number 21. Headed on by Zion Mears, the number 8. Mears with the handball as the ball spun at the last minute. To defended by the number 24, Michael Walker. Walker again. This time gives it easily away to Kishmar Ramsey. Queens College build on this left-hand side. Ball cleared by the number 5, Dylan Grant. As far as number 13, Kalik Haynes, good cover defending by the Queen's College defense, but Haynes has won a free kick and a chance to get players forward for St. Francis boys.
Yes, a good bit of pace being shown there by the St. Francis striker in Kalik Haynes, but as you can hear the coach screaming there, no help for him. Free kick, wins him aside a free kick in a promising position. I see the approach here. Do they go for the shot? So a bit of ways out. Looks to be about 40 yards. But let's see what Zion Mears does on top of this free kick. It looks to be that he'll put it into the box. They've got 4 attackers in the box on waiting for it. It's high into the box chance, but Harvey easily catches that one. And now QC look to break.
A very high goal kick. Number 4 eventually gets it clear. That's Thomas Parmore onto the hands or the body of the number 6. Well dealt with by the number 24, Michael Walker. Hit over the top for the number 7, Carbon. Carbon in space, heavy touch though. And cover defending there from the number 19 of Queen's College. And a better touch can then put St. Francis boys in on goal. Not saying a number assignment for the number 19. But throwing to St. Francis boys.
Sun isn't the nicest on our backs here, Kwame, as the sun begins to make his departure. Bit of a stop here and play because the ball having to be retrieved by the St. Francis players. Only seeing a couple of subs on the bench for St. Francis, where Queen's College look like they've come into school. And like usual, of course, getting a lot of support. Goal kick for Queen's College. And I think Harvey's shown that's one of his assets to me, is kicking. You can see with the goal kicks, doesn't require any defenders to come and kick the ball for him. He's very capable, and he really distributes the Queen's College attack. He starts attacks pretty well.
Challenge there coming in on Thomas Padmore from Ethan Squares. Shamir Masri, number 3, about to take this free kick. These guys look pretty big for under 16. Ball floated low, headed on by, looks like, Ramsey. The first taker is in number 11, Jaheim Adams. Zion Mears is number 8, out wide for Michael Walker. Number 24, Mears. The number 5 is Grant, Dylan Grant. So Queen's College allowing St. Francis to play with it in their own territory. They've been in possession. Number 5 is Grant playing it to Mears. Beautiful ball over the top, looking for the number 11, just unable to bring it under control. And then the clearance made by the defense of Queen's College, but a glorious ball played over the top from Mears in search of the number 11, Jaheim Adams.
Yes, I thought Adams was offside there, but the referee not calling that one. And really lucky to get away with that is Queen's College, because he was unmarked there behind his 2 defenders. So we're going to have a corner kick for the St. Francis school. I heard you say Samir Masri, but that sounds very similar to that former Man City midfielder Samir Nasri. Kwame, we'll have to see if they have maybe share the same qualities. Maybe they might be related, who knows. But corner kick for St. Francis, who need a goal here to get back into this one. Of course, early days, we've seen with these games that really they have a lot of time, these 2 teams, to score. Taking a bit of time here with this corner as it's put in now into the box. People waiting for it, and Harvey does well again. He's showing his quality. Barbados keeper and Vanderpool Nurse tears up the field as well as Squares. Look at the pace, and a good ball from him, but better defending from St. Francis. That's Michael Walker who dispossess it, and they back on the attack.
Strong challenge coming in on Yanni Marshall. Zion Mears finds space. And he lays his pass, looking for his teammate at the field. Poor control and strong clearance there. So, Queens College, though, they're not making any second guess of their defensive duties. They're not afraid to put the ball out of play in protection of this 1-goal lead. The goal scored by Vanderpool Nurse. He's up to 11 goals in this competition. Headed on by Mastery, number 3. And second header again, looking for Khalik Haynes. It's good defending by, it looks like, Yanni Marshall. Troy. It's Jaheim Adams. And so Vanderpool Nurse dropping all the way back to help and winning his team a Troy.
So Queens College looking to get a second, but definitely after that goal, St. Francis have looked to be the better of the two coming forward. So they have shown some quality, and we'll have to see if they can get back into this one, scoring a goal. As you can see, number 8 for Zion Mears. I like the movement of him. He's had a lot of touches of the ball, but here comes Queens College now with a lot of space going forward. I see Yanni Marshall has Squires there on the right. He finds him. Acres of space for Squires, who puts it past defender. Wow, a bit of skin there from the defender, but gets a piece of the ball and no penalty awarded by the referee.
Attempting to play the ball with the outside of the right boot was number 21, Malachi Nelson. Good cover presented by Nelson again. So Troy taken by this diminutive number 4 for Queens College, Narada Gisberk. Ball cleared by Thomas Padmore. Good pressure there shown by Diallo Small, the number 3 for Queens College. Mears finds the number 7, back to Mears again. So he and number 7, Carbine, seem to have some kind of understanding. The number 8, Zion Mears, and I do like the touches that he's shown so far of his paintbrush. There's Michael Walker trying to find Carbine, but his pass is misdirected.
Yes, Zion Mears definitely pulling the strings in the midfield for St. Francis. Looks like a really good player, a lot of maturity on the ball there, not panicking, and he's really setting them up. Those attackers for St. Francis, as we can see. Queens College breaking forward now with Squires again. They love to play it through down the right, and he puts it in for Vanderpool Nurse, but a defender there. I think St. Francis need to get rid of it a bit quicker, because as you can see, they're allowing Queens College, who usually play it very fast, back on the ball into Vanderpool Nurse. Takes a bad touch and it's given away again. Look at the skill from Mears, but dispossessed again. Advantage being given by the referee, and here comes Kyle Corbin of St. Francis.
Corbin in space. The number 15 does well to get back. That's Toby Dottin. Play breaks down. And number 16 comes forward and is fouled. So Queens College with a chance to get players forward in this set piece opportunity. The win doing its job to prevent me from getting accustomed to these names. Not saying a number for the number 16 of Queens College, but the free kick to be taken by the captain, number 6 for Queens College, Ethan Squires. Miscommunication there as Dylan Grant allowed the ball to go through, and it was just out the reach of Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, who's already shown his loafing abilities, as we call it in Bajan parlance. The player's loafing, but Inzaghi, the former AC Milan and Italian striker, would be happy with a striker in that area looking for chances. Ball comes in from Carbon, well dealt with by Joshua Harvey. Applause from beyond the touchline. Strong work there by Mears. It's Michael Walker. Back to Mears. Zion Mears, the number 8. In the middle of the field is the number 3, Samir Masri. Too nonchalant and unable to control. But strong recovery from the midfielder. It's Thomas Padmore. Finds Masri. Finds the number 11, Adams. So, though the brief advantage was played, the referee Nigel Marshall calls the play back for a foul on Masri.
Yes, showing his physicality there, losing the ball but allowing St. Francis to win it back, and a free kick for them now. And maybe that might be a way with a lot of tall bodies in the side, maybe looking for that aerial threat to score on Queen's College. They've kept them well. High ball put into the box, too easy for Harvey, who will gobble that one up. But for a strong, roaring Queen's College side, St. Francis have done very well. So we have Khalil Vanderpool Nurse coming all the way to the halfway line to get the ball, and distributes it so well. One of the island's best at this level, Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, for the 2nd straight season. It's the last year in under 16, so we'll have to look for him in the under 19 competition. As a clearance by the defender, St. Francis defender Dylan Grant. So, as I mentioned, Kwame, they're keeping it pretty tight at the back, our St. Francis, but of course, having that 1-goal deficit.
1-goal deficit with just about 20 minutes gone in this first half. Ball blocked by Michael Walker. Number 10 is Kishmar Ramsey, who's been very involved in the middle of the field for Queen's College. And number 15 is Toby Dotting. One-time cross comes in. Out of play. So a goal kick. And a bit of honesty shown from Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, saying that it is a goal kick, as one of his teammates had appealed for a corner. And looking at Nicholas Grant in goal, he still looks shaken from his earlier mistake.
Yes, looks pretty demotivated. Really the contrast of his partner in Joshua Harvey, his opposite, sorry. Of course, both in the bars today, Joshua Harvey for Queen's College and Grant for SFS, St. Francis School. As we see some trouble lurking aerially from St. Francis. And look at this striker. He goes by the name of Jaheim Adams. He's very tall for an under 16 lad. And into the box again, but no one on the end of it. It's a goal kick.
It's interesting to see the mileage, the distance covered by the number 15, Toby Dotting. He's been also seen in the defense. And they're overlapping, trying to get on the end of that cross from Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, the number 17, who in that instance drifted over to the right-hand side. But I can tell you, whenever Squires and Vanderpool link up, is always a difficulty for the opposition to try to counter. Ball played forward for Carbon is just too much on it, as the number 2, Kalani Belgrave, was trying to find the number 7.
Winds really picking up here, Kwame. We saw in the last game that free kick from Kamal Bryan. The wind, major factor in that one, allowing that extra bit of curl past the hands of Neblet, the keeper, and vital goal in the grand scheme of things. But that game is done and dusted. Look at the movement of Ethan Squires here. Always wants the ball. And really, number 4, that's Narada Gibbs Burke, not able to find anyone there, but he's also moved well. He seems to be playing that right back position, but he gets forward pretty often. And here's number 2, Justin Griffith for St. Francis. But although St. Francis are down a goal, Kwame, you have to say that they're not completely out of it. They are showing some fight for Queen's College, and it's great to see. It's been a good game so far.
Do agree they have kept this shit pretty well. The major concern, or most of the attacks though, have been built on the right side of their defense, trying to get likes of Toby Dotting involved. Kishmar Ramsey, the number 10, has advanced with the play and almost has filled in some instances, just behind where number 10 will pick up at the top of the box. Yanni Marshall hasn't really been involved in the last 10 minutes or so, but Khalid Haynes, the number 13, hasn't really gotten any service, or at least centrally. He's had to float over to the right hand side to collect most of the balls. Foul throw committed by the number 24, Michael Walker. And the ball thrown to Walker was, to me, in my opinion, easy to control, but Walker, probably frustrated from the mistake he just made, gave the ball back easily to Queen's College.
Yeah, not what you want to see, you know, a foul throw. But of course, at this level, inexperienced players, it will happen. But it's just about getting back now. And Queen's College looking for that second goal. If you missed it, goal coming from Khalil Fanapu. Nurse really at the very start of the game. A mistake from keeper Grant. And really too easy for Nurse, who is now tied with Joshua Clark for the most goals in the competition. But after that, Kwame, it hasn't been much in the game. No real great chances that you would say were goal scoring opportunities. And I have to credit St. Francis for, as you mentioned, holding their shape very well and keeping that structure.
Just think in some cases that Zion Mears has held the ball a bit too long. Is Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. And number 10 is Kishmar Razi. Ball floated over the top. And this time, Nicholas Grant collects. And a strong goal kick at the field. First of the ball is Toby Dotting. Still Dotting versus Justin Griffith. Urge to not let him turn. There's Ramsey, who in my opinion has pulled the strings like a guitarist. He's been here, there, everywhere. Ball switch from right to left. Looking for the number 3, Diallo Small. There's Ethan Squares, who seemingly switched positions with the number 15, Dotting. Shot comes in. Just wide.
Yes, shot from pretty far out. But look at the movement of Ethan Squares. He started on the right wing. Now he's all the way on the left. I don't know if that's a ploy by Coach Sidaway. Maybe to, you know, switch Squares to the left side. But he's one that loves to move, loves the ball. And we know how much he wants it. Yes, I think it is a switch with Toby Dotting of wings. And you can see Dotting now playing alongside the Vanderpool Nurse on the right-hand side. So Queen's College, every time they seem to lose the ball, gain it back in possession. And here they come again. Good piece of skill from Squires. And they've looked pretty compact and have held their composure when they've got the ball.
So once again, they build on this left-hand side. Ethan Squires. Squires. Cross comes in. Collected. Well, the assistant referee has suggested that the ball went out of play, so it went beyond the goal line. So it's a goal kick. Just about 27 minutes of action completed. Playing 35 minutes a half. Goal kick taken by the midfielder, the number 3, Samir Masri. Unable to bring the ball under control was Thomas Padmore, the number 4. It's Malachi Nelson, number 21. Running out of real estate and giving away possession to St. Leonard's boys.
Yes, Here they come again with Mears, who showed some great skill, but Dotting takes a heavy touch. And we may keep mentioning it, the St. Francis defense has been solid. And you can see when Masri holds and plays as that holding midfielder, they seem to look a lot better going forward. And here they come now with Khalik Haynes. But here's the problem, Kwame, there's not a single St. Francis player in the box for him to put the ball into. So that's the problem. And I'm sure that's what the coaching and management staff will be looking at the halfway break, as they now play it through the middle, but dispossessed after a strong tackle from Yanni Marshall. So here they come again now. It's Jaheim Adams, but I need to see somebody, a presence in that box, Kwame, because it's going to be very hard for the midfielders to link up play when there's no one on the end of the crosses.
Well, if there's no one in the box, no tickets can be sold. Here comes Ethan Squares finding Khalil Van der Poel Nurse, the heavy touch. Then cleared by Dylan Grant. But also, Jaheim Adams hasn't shown his presence. He was very slow to get forward moments ago. And as you said, the hard work done by Khalik Haynes over on that right-hand side. And I had alluded to that fact earlier that he's gotten most of his possessions on the right-hand side. And there's been that vacancy in the left in the attack. Ball over the top. Squares is onside. Squares versus Michael Walker, the number 24. With help in the middle. Chance for Queen's College, unable to take and defended initially. Here's Diallo Small. Still Small. Cross comes in. Left hand and save. And the clearance on the number 3 Masri is Yanni Marshall. Ethan Squires. Ethan Squires, shot blocked by Padmore. Marshall finds Diallo Small. Yanni Marshall. Cross comes into the near post and well collected by Grant, but they really need to get closer to the likes of Yanni Marshall and Squares on that left-hand side. You simply can't just allow them to get crosses into the box.
Yes, player down, and you're spot on there, Kwame, because they're not able to find these guys. Great move there from Small, Diallo Small, wearing the number 3, to show that piece of skill, but they're not getting the ball where they would want it, and that's to the foot of Khalil Van der Poel Nurse. Yanni Marshall, I must say, he's one that moves a lot. You see him sometimes in defense winning back a ball, then he's on the left wing, the right wing, and even sometimes centrally. So really, he's been one of the better players for Queen's College in this half. We have really the players taking a refreshment break, as one of them is getting some treatment from the medics. But St. Francis is going to need to show something more going forward, because I don't see much in their box, really, in the opposition box, because they're not really making a threat to goalkeeper Joshua Harvey, who's had a pretty late day so far.
He's also been pretty eccentric in his goalkeeping duties. A lot of style in his poise and positioning. And looking at him, he looks like an experienced player as well at this level. I think you can always tell too by how the clothes fit. How the guys wear their kit. Possession in favor of St. Francis boys. Jaheim Adams finds Justin Griffith. It's Masri. Recovers. Griffith to number 24, Michael Walker. Zion Mears. Thomas Podmore. So they're getting possession in the middle, but not creating problems out wide. And you can see the likes of Marshall dropping deep to provide cover and creating numbers to prevent the attack from building with any degree of seriousness. Ball struck from Nelson onto the foot of Ramsey, and then Nelson, trying to dribble his way out of problems, gives away possession.
Yes, and you can see striker Jaheim Adams coming all the way back to do some defensive duty, and maybe that's one of the reasons why he's not able to get into the opposition box. Because, Kwame, having to run that much back and forth, it really is tearing on the legs. But here comes Queen's College now with a ball into the box, but the goalkeeper drops it. Ball bodied off by the defender. What a piece of defending. And you can see a miscommunication between the centre back and the goalkeeper. Grant was in maybe for another howler, but he's saved by some strong work by his defender, and that is, yes, it looks like Dylan Grant, yes.
So Grant saved Grant. So Vanderpool Nurse was not granted the second opening. Zion Mears turning and unable to get past two. There's Masri. Justin Griffith in number 2. Griffith with loads of space. But looking at the St. Francis boys, they're almost at a walking pace now going into these last few minutes of this first half. Clearly you can see the Cave Hill based Queen's College boys looking a lot fitter. But a free kick to St. Francis boys to be taken by Zion Mears, the number 8. Ball hit long into the box. Falls kindly for the number 11, and shot blocked and then collected by Joshua Harvey. Another strong kick out. Ball hit back at the field by DeLon Grant. Brought under control by Mears, who finds Masri. Still Masri, then gives it away. Yanni Marshall to the number 15, Toby Dotting. Then Ryder gives Burke on the overlap, the number 4. 4 versus 4. Ball comes in. It strikes the body of Thomas Padmore, the number 4. So a corner. In what I believe to be the last minute of regulation time. And Toby Dotting slowly approaches he was going to the corner flag, but realized that he may have to go and get the ball, but then Malachi Nelson, the number 21, opts to shorten the distance by retrieving the ball. Corner taken. Heads go up, miss. Chance here. And there's a whistle blown by the referee, Nigel Marshall. So the chance would not have counted even if he had scored.
Yeah, so that was interesting there. Queen's College started in that line formation at the corner, really to take any degree of marking being done by St. Francis. But that will bring us to the end of the first half, Kwame. 1-0 to Queen's College after Khalil Vanderpool Nurse struck his 11th goal of the competition on really what was bright and early as soon as we had that start from the referee. But overall, it has been pretty balanced after that goal, with St. Francis still trailing by a goal. But you will have to say that Queen's College the better of the sides, especially going forward between the two.
So Queen's College, the better of the two teams, take the lead into the second semi-final. Two teams trying to book their place in the finals of this under-16 Barbados Secondary School Football League competition. Join us shortly for second half action live from the Wildy Turf. We have a kickoff. Signals the beginning of the second half in this under 16 semi-final between Queen's College playing in the white and red and St. Francis boys playing in the all black. The score at halftime, Queen's College lead 1-0. And to give analysis once more for the second half, Nikhil Uttam Chandani.
Yes, Kwame, great to be back, and we're expecting a highly competitive second half with St. Francis have everything to play for here, trailing by 1-0. Great to see during the break some Queen's College contingent as well. There are some St. Francis students here and some parents, but the Queen's College support is here. We see, I don't know if you know her, Miss Eversley, and who had Queen's College on fire today as we get near to that sports season. So good afternoon to all the Queen's College students out there watching this one. And your side is leading by one goal here, but with St. Francis have a throw here, Kwame, and St. Francis look threatening at times, but just not able to get it right in the final third. Let's see if they can improve it in the second half.
They've had possession, but haven't been able to get a shot at Joshua Harvey's goal with that degree of regularity. Zion Mears, the number 8. There's Thomas Padmore. And number 3 is Samir Masri. Floats it into the box towards the back post. 2 players go up. Then able to get contact is Justin Griffith. Back to the probably the most influential player so far. What a touch by Griffith. Shot comes in. Tame before the block. But at least encouraging signs for St. Francis boys.
Yes, and you can hear the loud claps of the coach there. He's liked what he's seen so far, and they've definitely looked improved going forward. That's what we're asking for, Kwame, improved in that final third. Let's see if they can get it done, because they need to be clinical in the opposition box. That's something they lacked in the in the first half, really. So let's see if the likes of Jaheim Adams and, of course, the midfielders in Zion Mears can get forward. Kyle Corbin, we know he's explosive. And as they come forward now again, ball played to number 13, Khalid Haynes. But again, back to square one through Zion Mears. As they come forward again, just giving my man Kwame here a bit of a break. And it's touched there, but Joshua Harvey, we know the quality of him. He comes out to collect that one. And it will be a free kick, I think, for Queen's College. Some great insight during the break, Kwame. You'll be great to hear that. You'll be happy to know that our producer, Jason Eiffel, actually saying that, it's really a battle because there's a lot of Kickstart FC players on each side, so they know each other very well. And it's a great, very highly competitive battle. So very impressive from Jason Eiffel. Maybe he might have to come and take my place on the mic.
Maybe he should, and sometimes rather than opting to defend when there's no need, when there's no strikers around. But he's very important to the broadcast. Is Jason Eiffel, the producer. It's another stoppage here, and is also giving some kind of respite to Queen's College, as St. Francis has started with more urgency in this second half. Yanni Marshall finds Kishmar Ramsey, the number 10. The number 19 is Justin Griffith. Diallo Small, the number 3. Here's Diego Fenty, number 16. Pressure created by St. Francis, almost marking man for man and forcing Queen's College back. Wait, is Diallo Small able to turn on Carbine, giving away 50-50. Marshall must be some kind of an acrobat as he stylishly went over, but at least he's not hurt. Ethan Squires, what I believe maybe his first touch of the second half. Free kick. Floated to the back post. Curling. Grant collects eventually. But he was claiming pretty awkwardly. I think he was using the height of, and I want to say the back also of Vanderpool Nurse. A nudge in the back from Zion Mears on his opposite, number 8, Yanni Marshall.
Yes, and I think, I don't know if our camera audio would have picked it up just now, Kwame, but the coach of St. Francis telling them so you can hear the QC chants coming from the crowd, and it's Ethan Squares. What a chance in front of the goal. Point blank range. He can't believe he missed that. Was not able to get a full boot on it, but here QC come again. They're not studying that one too much, and it's with, don't seem to have that. Oh, Diego Fenty was going forward. We lost it in possession, and here they come again. But what a chance it was for Ethan Squares. I was just about to say that, you know, St. Francis need to be playing it short sometimes because they're becoming too predictable, kicking it long all the time, and a shot coming in from Yanni Marshall, but that's going to be wide. But what a chance for Squares.
The bounce proving the undoing of Ethan Squares, the number 6, but his movement was impeccable. He's that kind of a player. He can pop up. He can pop up and make something out of nothing. The snapshot from Marshall, but nowhere close to the goal. Once again, Samir Masri will take this goal kick. Hit long. Chest control from Khalik Haynes. And number 11 is Naif Lynch. Still Haynes. And number 13. And number 8 is Zion Mears. Ball switched. Looking for Nelson in an advanced position. Chance for Nelson. Unable to bring the ball under control. And Queens College players were looking for an offside call. But luckily for them, Nelson wasn't able to get on to the end of that cross that came in.
Yes, I thought Nelson could have done a way better job there, you know, crossing that one to Mears, who was lurking in the box unmarked. But in the end, not being able to get it. I think that's been the best chance for them in this half. St. Francis holding a lot more possession, though. They just have to try and be a bit more composed in the midfield because they seem to give it away to Queens College plentifully. So let's see with Squares now. A great tackle being made by St. Francis. That's Thomas Padmore, and he tears down the wing.
The recovery from Squires as well shows a man desperate to get his team into the finals, disallowing Padmore really from bringing the ball from deep, converging on him pretty early, and also being able to win a throwing to be taken by the number 3 Diallo Small. Just about 8 minutes or so in the second half. Chance for Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Ramsey, shot blocked. Cleared by the number 11, Jaheim Adams.
So yes, St. Francis, again, only Mears really the threat going forward. But they have been really compact in defense. But you would not think, Kwame, that they are trailing because the way they're playing, it would suggest that they have a lead. But of course, coming around to that, you know, I would say 55-minute mark, they're going to have to really go for it if they are still trailing. But Queens College has been pretty solid. The likes of Naif Lynch in defense. They had Fenty, Diallo Small, all of them very good small playing, patrolling the left back area. And he's looked good going forward, you know, able to cut in when needed. And I think Queens College are going to make a sub here.
Looks like Thierry Inks will replace the number 15, Toby Dottin, who I can't really remember having the touch of this second half. So looks like an attacking change, given the switch or the attacking strategies employed so far by St. Francis boys. I think the coach of Queens College wanting to deter some of that possession gained by St. Francis boys. Here's Kishmar Ramsey, the number 10. Squares. Ramsey played just behind Fenty. And good defending by Samir Masri, the number 3. Given away, however, Ethan Squares, the number 6. Squares is muscled off the ball. Advantage played. pass behind. Narada gets Burke. Stylish touch there from Thierry Ince. His first touch of the game. Ball given away. Ball blocked. And I had a chance to speak to Nelson, the number 21, shortly before the game resumed. And I told him, you need to start dribbling the ball in the heart of your defense. If you can find an early pass, release the ball because you're putting yourself and your team under pressure. So Ethan Squires will have to leave the field as he's been cut and there's blood. And always as a precaution, the player has to get cleaned before he can resume. So at the moment, St. Francis Boys has a man advantage. Number 17 is Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Grant is backing off. Still Nurse. Shot comes in. And it seemingly took a deflection. So a corner to Queen's College as they try to find a second in the second half.
Yes, good move there by Nurse, but you can tell that St. Francis have done a very good job, keeping Nurse quiet, because apart from that one goal, he hasn't really had too many shots on goal, and for the leading goal scorer of the tournament, you would expect some explosive football being played by Nurse. So I have to credit St. Francis and the defense. That's not been a problem at all, Kwame. We've really credited their defense. It's just going forward is where I see a lack of creativity, and they're going to need some more if they are to get on even terms. Corner played into the box, no one on the end of it. It's going to be out for another corner. That one cleared by number 11 for St. Francis, Jaheim Adams, who seemed to take up a new role in midfield, because I can't remember the last time I've seen him up the field playing his striker role.
So, as you said, they've defended fairly well. Ball comes in from Yanni Marshall off the crossbar. And out for a goal kick. The good thing about it is as well, they have gotten more players up the field, but still the main disadvantage, Khalik Haynes, who's also well built for a striker, though the man marking him closely, the number 11, Naif Lynch, taller and bigger in stature, but Haynes has done well with his back to goal, but he hasn't had much service in and around the attacking third. And Ethan Squires re-enters the game. Headed on by Kishmar Ramsey, only as far as Kyle Carbon, a name more familiar with cricket and local standards. Griffith is fouled, so a free kick to St. Francis Boys.
Yes, I thought they could have had an opportunity there, Kwame, to take that one a bit quick with Kyle Corbin unmarked on the right wing, but opting to take it long, and they seem to be a strategy really for St. Francis is to take these free kicks long and put them into the box. High line being played by Queen's College. Let's see what they can do. It's into the box now. Tall Adams in, showing his tall presence, but not able to get on the end of it. And that one cleared to Nurse. Look how far he's come back for the ball. This has impressed me about this young man. Comes far to retrieve and hits it for Squares, but that's too long and he won't get it. So, still 1-0 here, Kwame. St. Francis not able to even register a shot on goal.
Initially, that was great defending from Justin Griffith, the number 19, preventing the attacking player from getting in on goal. Headed on by Diallo Small to Diego Fenty. Samir Masri striking the ball forward, but headed away by his opposite, number 3, Diallo Small. So trying to be taken by Zion Mears. But I think, this is an example of a disadvantage with a guy like Mears taking the throwing. Your best player, he should be on the field. He shouldn't have the role of taking the throwing from that perspective. He should be on the field looking for first or second ball and looking to get the attack going again. Masri, strong throw forward. It never came in. Or onto the field, rather.
Kwame, it looks like Masri's on the field here for his strength, because at every set piece and every throw, every corner, every free kick, goal kick, he's doing the work for St. Francis. He seems to be probably the strongest lad on their team. He's very physically built, and he's had a reasonable game, you know, in the midfield. They've looked a better side when he's been the holding midfielder, but it's only going forward that I think maybe he can improve a bit. But here Queen's College come. They've got plenty bodies forward, but number 10 for QC, Ramsey, not able to make a pass, but he finds Squares on the left wing, and Squares not able to put it in. A small appeal for a penalty, but in the end given goal kick.
So Squares wearing a bandage on his right hand, securing his cut that he would have gotten moments ago. Ball hit long. Hit forward one time by Diallo Small. It's Kishmar Ramsey, number 10. Played back to Justin Griffith, who finds Narada Gibbs Burke outside. He hasn't done much overlapping in this second half thus far. His theory ain't unable to keep it close. It's Malachi Nelson with the defensive work and the whistle blown by referee Nigel Marshall. So just about 16 minutes or so gone in this second half. Queen's College leading 1-0. Goal scored by Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. And the coach uttering similar references that you would have made earlier, Nikhil, in terms of the predictability of St. Francis boys, and they're being asked to play the ball short sometimes. Strong challenge coming in there. Ball played forward by the number 8, Yanni Marshall. The number 6, Ethan Squares. Strong challenge. Chance to make it 2. And what a miss by Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, a player of his ability. You will really be sure to hit the target from just about 6 yards out.
Yes, took a bit of a heavy touch there. That one, it getting away from him a bit too far and not able to come on the end of it is Vanderpool Nurse. Queen's College looking good going forward. And I don't recall the last time St. Francis have even had a shot on goal, Kwame, so really some room for improvement.
Zion Mears, played along by Thomas Padmore. Strong header back in front by Yanni Marshall. Vanderpool Nurse is really starting to get into this game. Shot on goal, dip in, collected by Nicholas Grant, who's really grown into this game after his earlier mistake. Strong goal kick brought down by Khalik Haynes, who wins the free kick. St. Francis trying to build momentum here. Zion Mears to take this free kick. Carbon unmarked. Ball floated by Mears. Eventually collected by Joshua Harvey. But when you really assess the game, though, Nikhil, the goal came from a mistake from the goalkeeper. So I will venture to say much hasn't been created from open play.
A direct contradiction to semi-final number 1, Kwame, which he has 6 goals in it. This one, probably about maybe two better teams, and just 1 goal in this one. And it's been pretty balanced after that goal. So that's why I'm saying the mistake of Grant in the bars, if it ends 1-1, St. Francis may feel really hard done by, because having not made that mistake, could be nil all and could be going to penalties, but there's still time for an equalizer here. As you said, only about 20 minutes gone. Still have 15 minutes to go, so St. Francis should be committing bodies forward, but they don't seem to be doing that. Only seem to look dangerous on set pieces, and even then, not able to register any shots on goal.
They also have the luxury of changes on the bench. Cross comes in, well taken by Nicholas Grant. Release early for the number 21, Nelson, and able to keep the ball in front, gives it away to Theory Aints. Played back to the number 4. Narada gives Burke and Justin Griffith using his experience to play it back to the goalkeeper Harvey. Well, I should comment that he did it like a player of experience, rather. Out wide is Ethan Squires in number 6. Diagonal ball for Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Under pressure from Thomas Padmore, the number 4. Vanderpool Nurse, twist and turn. Good defending from Padmore. Wins the throwing. But Vanderpool Nurse starting to drop deeper and deeper to collect. Ethan Squires in the channel for Aints. Curling away. Lobbed over the goalkeeper. And Thierry Aints scores a second. A delightful ball from Squires. Curling and dipping inward. And the delicate lob from Thierry Aints. The second half change, doubling the lead for Queens College. The score now 2-0.
Yes, what a goal from Ince, the substitute. Exactly what you want as a coach. I must credit the coach actually, Kwame. You know, at halfway, give him some heat about his side, Rory Sidaway, but it shows his insight, making that change, and he's getting on the end of it, and Thierry Ince into the score, but what a ball it was from Ethan Squires with the outside of the right boot. He found really Ince. It was on a silver platter, and Ince easily put it home over keeper Grant. 2-0, as you would rightfully correct me there, Kwame, to Queens College. And I think if they continue to defend like this game may be well over.
Well, they've been very competent, and they've took control, and they haven't been complacent with their lead. Shot coming in from the number 10, Kishmar Ramsey, and more importantly, each player seems to know their role. Zion Mears under pressure from his opposite number 8. Floated over the top one time by Samir Masri. Under pressure is Diallo Small, forced to head the ball out of touch. So good pressure there created by Carbon, the number 7 for St. Francis boys.
Definitely you can see that. Of course, I believe this is it's very early stages for St. Francis School in this competition. I'm sure that it's the first time in a semi-final stage, but you can see the intensity is already taking a toll on the players in terms of fitness. Queens College look times ahead of them now, and the coach urging the midfielders to get forward because they need to throw everything at it. And even now, down 2 goals, Kwame, and only 1 man in the box, so not what you would really want if you're St. Francis. And actually, Jaheim Adams moves to left back now. I don't know if that's a ploy maybe to get some more bodies into the box. Free kick with Zion Mears. At the top of the free kick here. Let's see how it goes.
Free kick to be taken by Zion Mears, number 8. Sun in the eyes of the goalkeeper. Ball whipped to the back post. Punched away by Harvey. It's Griffith. Cleared by Kishmar Ramsey. Only as far as Dylan Grant. Masri. Dispossessed. What a touch by Squires. The ball played forward looking for Narada gives Burke on the overlap. Ball sheeted away by Thomas Padmore. Good defending by Padmore, using his physicality to keep the diminutive and opposite number 4 at length. And almost another example of a miscommunication between Nicholas Grant in goal and Padmore, because Padmore was shooting the ball for Grant to collect, but Grant was pretty slow off the line, but no harm done. But Thomas Padmore has stayed down and is in need of attention from the medic. So the pressure is on for St. Francis boys, who need to get a goal pretty quickly. Just about 25 minutes or so gone in the second half. So where do you see the next goal coming from, Nikhil? Would it be from Queen's College or will it be from St. Francis Boys?
I don't see any more goals coming in this one, Kwame. I think it will end 2-0, as you should say. But I must compliment Joshua Harvey, who's had a great game today. And as I say his name, he looks across at me. A really vibrant character, always passionate about the game. Talks to me at school, you know. Happy to be playing for Barbados. And really a great talent in terms of goalkeeping. It's an area where we don't find an abundance of players. But when we see gems like him, we really have to pick them out and compliment them, commend them. And really, he's had an easy day today. But I can tell you, if they do get into the final, Kwame, against Foundation School, it won't be so easy with the likes of Jalen Johnson and Jaden Phillips.
So, St. Francis Boys play short out from the back. So, Carbon unable to control. So throwing to Queen's College Boys, throwing back to Naif Lynch. Lynch able to turn away from Khalid Haynes. Diallo Small back inside. Lovely skill showing from Haynes. Zion Mears. Good protection of the ball and given away by Kyle Carbon. Quick throwing taken. Kishmar Ramsey is in space. Danger here for Queen's College, creating it on the left hand side and having to lunge there and trying to collect the ball was Ethan Squires. Just too much force on the pass played forward from Kishmar Ramsey. From my vantage point, I was unable to see if it went out of touch for a throwing, but it is indeed a goal kick.
Yeah, so goal kick for St. Francis, but they look deflated, and rightfully so. After a good Queen's College performance, I'm sure they would have wanted to score more goals, but a 2-0 performance as Kvanapur Nurse steals it after a goal kick. But some good defense there from St. Francis, but I'm sure Coach Sidaway will not be too upset with a 2-0. Harvey comes. Harvey is beaten, but great defending there by the number 19 for QC. I don't have a name for number 19, Justin Griffith. Thank you very much, Kwame. But very bold move by Harvey to come out of his box there. It didn't get close to it.
Corner play short. Ball played into the box by Zion Mears. Just over the head of Joshua Harvey and missing at the back post. Justin Griffith, who arrived from nowhere like an increasing tax, and he just was not able to get a foot, a boot, a knee, any part of his anatomy on the ball to ease the ball into the back of the net. The score remains 2-0, and that was the best chance created by St. Francis Boys. But as you mentioned just moments ago, Nikhil, Justin Griffith, that is the second time in my recollection that he's been forced to defend under difficulty and avert any possible danger. So at the moment, Yanni Marshall is off the field, and it seems like a change has been made, and Jalen Williams, the number 5, has entered the game, and Yanni Marshall has been replaced.
Yes, let's see what can happen here. As St. Francis, powerful tackle in by Queen's College, but St. Francis back on the ball, but again, no one home. A really great chance from that corner did St. Francis have, and Harvey's playing with it a bit, as goalkeepers tend to do at this stage, as here's the first touch for Williams. Plays it into the middle, gets it back beautifully by Squares. Oh, he's just pulling the strings. He does it so well, does Ethan Squares, and here is Williams, but played a bit long, and it's going to be a corner. So Queen's College now just trying to ride this one out.
So as the shadows lengthen on the playing area, the spaces begin to widen, and Queens College has been able to put some passes together and open up areas which moments are earlier into the first half they were unable to. Ball struck to the back post, headed on goal and just wide. He didn't get the intended connection, more like ball to face rather than getting the header off the forward. Don't have the official times for the goals, but the goal scored by Khalil Van der Poel Nurse, I believe in the 5th minute, but the second goal, rather, I don't have the confirmed time for Thierry Aints. Chance here for Aints to make it 3. And after the skill shown by Kishmar Ramsey, then putting the ball on a platter for the number 7 who has already scored. He dragged his shot wide, and that was a perfect opportunity to really put the final nail in the coffin for the St. Francis boys.
Yeah, second time the ball was on a platter for Aints, but this time not able to get on the end of it. Great playing from Krishma Ramsey. As the ball now played in. To me, my man of the match, Kwame. If things stay like this, would be Ethan Squares. I don't know about you, but to me, he's pulled the strings, and of course, that beautiful assist for Aints to score the second goal as he brings it again up the field. Not able to pass on that one. But who would be your man of the match?
Hard one to call, given the goal scored as well. But Ramsey is also a good candidate because he's contributed to both attack and defense in the middle of the field. But I would give in to the candidate Squires because he's added that extra edge to the attack as well, and he's contributed to one of the goals. Chance here for Aints. Then for Nurse. Ball cleared by Jaheim Adams. It's Justin Griffith, who's had a very good game as well. Ball brought down by Khalil Van der Poel Nurse. Aints. Nurse. Fenty alone in the ball to dummy. Chance here for Williams. The snapshot is just wide. And even though they have the 2-goal advantage, the body language of Ethan Square suggests that he's hungry for more.
Yeah, it's a really precious chance for Queens College. Well brought down on the chest from Jalen Williams. But I like the mentality of Ethan Squares because when you're playing, going into a final, you want your players rearing and you want them clinical. And Queens College wouldn't want to miss too many of these easy chances because it doesn't look good for them going up against Foundation in the final. So really, they'll want to do a bit better with those. But youngster Jalen Williams coming on as a sub. Nearly had a chance to get on the score sheet, but missed in the end.
So, change is going to be made here. There's Jaheim Adams being replaced. So the first change made by St. Francis boys. Number 11 being replaced by number 23. There's Khalil Nurse. Number 13 is Khalik Haynes. Zion Mears. He had a chance briefly to play in number 21, Malachi Nelson in. He held the ball a bit too long and dispossessed Ramsey, who to me has been very good as well. Khalil Van der Poel Nurse. Chance on goal! That is breathtaking for Ethan Squires. The layoff from Khalil Van der Poel Nurse. A side-footed shot into the side of the netting. Nicholas Grant at full stretch, unable to get a hand. He was a spectator. Nikhil, that was just fantastic.
What a kick and what a goal, what a strike for Ethan Squires. As you see that ball curling past the goalkeeper, exactly what you would have wanted. Queen's College have made a change. Jordan Bryan on. Not sure who's gone off. I think it may be Narada Gibbs Burke. But what a goal from Squires. Really, I think now, Kwame, it's safe to say he is the man of the match because he's having assists and then so easily put that one into the back of the net. The keeper Grant had no chance. Really, he deserves that one. He's put in a shift today. Excellent performance by him.
This is Senor Mears, who's always been the center of attention. Challenge coming in and lucky to not be booked for that strong challenge from behind. I think Mears has contributed as well because we see it so often at the international level when you have a chance to score going forward and you give it away on the counter. In most cases, you are punished. And Mears, to me, had a chance to play Nelson, who was making the overlap. Shot from Ramsey blocked by Nelson. And that's the final whistle in the second semi-final. St. Francis boys defeated 3-0 by Queen's College. An exceptional performance from the boys from KFL. Nikhil. Two teams booking their tickets into the finals. Christchurch Foundation boys and now Queen's College.
Yes, what a performance by Queen's College. Domination. You can see they're thanking their fans now. The support from the school has been great, but Queen's College easily put in the St. Francis School away. But for the first couple of years in this competition, Kwame, you have to commend St. Francis as well for getting here. They put up a fight in that first half, but after they went 2-0, it seemed like it was over. And of course, Ethan Squires put in the cherry on top to get that third goal. Really great performance by them. What you want, and it's what you want from a semi-final, and it really sets up what will be a great under-16 Barbados Secondary Schools Football League final between the Christchurch Foundation and Queen's College. But look at the link-up play from Khalil Vanderpool Nurse and Ethan Squires. You have to commend the two of them, and even Coach Rory Sidaway, who's done very well, managing his teams over the years. Second final, back-to-back years, so he always raves about his junior teams and the football teams under 14, under 16. So we have to give credit to them, and well played to Queen's College getting the win.
In the final analysis, Queen's College victorious 3-0. And the finals will see Christchurch Foundation boys versus Queen's College. Thank you for joining us on the Trident 10 television network and also on our YouTube stream. Saying goodbye on behalf of Nikhil Uttam Chandani and the production team of the Trident 10 television network. I'm Kwame Parry saying good evening and goodbye.